a lot of times we do hear that. We hear that, oh, Jesus just must be a good moral teacher. He's just a prophet of some sort. And it's like, no, that's not who he said he was. Hello and welcome back to Why We're Catholic by Trent Horn, part 2 of the Why We're Catholic Book Club on YouTube, hosted by What Laura Likes. So links are all in the description for all of that. You should go check out everybody who's doing this collab. It's really awesome. There's a playlist for each week, each part of the book. So yeah, you should go check out the playlist because there's a lot of really awesome videos. I've watched a lot of them from last week and they were really great. So I know everybody's gonna do great this week and I hope I can do just as great. So this part of the book starts out talking about the Bible and the scriptures and do we believe them, do we not, and all of that. And the first thing that comes in after you've established that the Bible's trustworthy is, who is Jesus? Who is Jesus? Is he who he says he is, or is he not? So in this part, Trent Horn pulls a bit from an argument that C.S. Lewis used to make called the liar, lunatic, or Lord argument, saying that Jesus Christ had to be one of three options: liar, lunatic, or Lord. Because Jesus said he was God. He acted as God acts. He attributed God to himself when he said over and over, I am. Before the beginning, I was, or before Abraham, I was, I came down from heaven. So Jesus says he's God, but is that who he really is? Like, our society today tells us that Jesus is just one of the many good moral teachers and it doesn't really matter. But Jesus claimed to be so much more than just a moral teacher. He claimed to be God. So if he wasn't God, he had to be a liar or a lunatic, according to Lewis. He either had to be like saying he was God knowing he was not God, therefore he was a liar and not a good moral teacher, or he had to be a lunatic saying he believed he was God but he really wasn't and he was insane, but he was too wise to be insane. So those arguments fall flat. And then C.S. Lewis goes on saying that the only other option is to believe Jesus is exactly who he said he was, that he is Lord, and that we have to live our lives as if he were Lord because he is the Lord. But there's another argument that's thrown in Trent Horn's. He also pulls up legend. So he goes through the arguments of liar, lunatic, and legend. So the legend argument is saying the scriptures portray it as if God, as if Jesus is God, but how can we believe the scriptures? And that's where he takes his emphasis into the scripture then. Like, the scriptures are reliable. Like, they are the most reliable documents that we have from that time period. They all corroborate each other. We've had them forever. Like, the scriptures are important, and if we believe that the scriptures are true, Jesus is more than just a legend, and he's not a liar or a lunatic. He's literally the Lord, exactly who he said he is, God. And that's really the argument that I started reading this section of the book, and that's all I could think about was C.S. Lewis's argument. And it's such a good argument though, because a lot of times we do hear that. We hear that, oh, Jesus just must be a good moral teacher, he's just a prophet of some sort, and it's like, no, that's not who he said he was. He claimed to be God. If his claim is false, then he's not a good moral teacher. He's not good if his claim was false. But his claim wasn't false. He was exactly who he claimed to be. He is exactly who he claimed to be. He is God. And that's very important to this whole, who is Jesus? Because Jesus is God. And that's when you start going, well, how could he be God? Isn't God the Father? He talked about God the Father. That's where you get Trinity in this. Jesus came to reveal the Trinity. We can't understand the Trinity on human logic alone. It's something that we never would be able to understand without revelation. And the Trinity is amazing. When you start getting into it, it's like we can't understand it because we don't have the words. And I just can't wait till heaven and we can like see the Trinity and be like, yep, this is it. And we're not gonna have the words, and that's okay because we don't have the words right now. We have human words, and human words can't always explain divine realities. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to emphasize from this part of the book. I know this is a short video, but that's what I really wanted to emphasize, was that Jesus is exactly who he said he was. He literally rose from the dead. The resurrection is true. That's the other topic that's covered in this section. You know, the apostles wouldn't have died for a lie. They would not have gone to death for a lie. And so Jesus is who he says he is. Jesus is God, and because he's God, we need to change the way we live our lives, because we need to live as though we really believe that he's God. How am I living? How does my life reflect my belief that Jesus Christ is the Lord of my life? It's a big topic. So anyway, that's what I caught out of this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this video or this section if you're reading along. And make sure you check out the others in the collab. And I will see you all next weekend for a live stream and next week's video. God bless.